What's up, guys? Welcome back to Nothing But Sports Talk, the channel where we talk nothing but sports. Today I'm going to be doing an episode on the NBA draft. It happened on Thursday yesterday. It's Friday night. I'm dragging a little bit, but it's all good. I'm going to get this content pumped out to you guys. Today I'm going to be doing a video about the Eastern Conference, and then tomorrow I'll probably do a video on the Western Conference, which is going to be going through grades for each team and how their draft went. But without a doubt, run that intro. Yeah. Alright guys, we're back. We're going to hop straight into the number one pick in Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic. Look, the Orlando Magic to me are simply, it's an obvious choice to me. They're getting an A. They're getting an A, and I'll tell you why. Paolo Banchero, to me, without a doubt, is going to be the best player in the draft. And I didn't understand why he was going to be going 3. Some people were saying 4. I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy talk. Look, I love Chet Holmgren and I love Jabari Smith Jr., but Paolo Banchero was the best player in this draft. We'll see. He's got to prove it. But to me, he reminds me a lot of he gives me, I'm not just saying this because of Duke, the Duke ties, but he reminds me a lot of Jason Tatum, the way he operates, how smooth he is. He has that signature double jab. He already has a signature move. He's got it all down pat. Plus, on top of that, they went and got Caleb Houston with a 32nd pick. Former 5-star recruit. He can shoot the 3 lights out. That's going to be huge for them. I think that's a steal at 32. Only reason I don't have them at an A+ is because of the fact that they sold their 35th pick, which I think they could have had plenty of value at. I mean, there were still guys like EJ Liddell, and there were plenty of guys on that. I think Jaden Hardy was still there. So they definitely could have snagged another young piece if they would have kept that 35th pick, but that's the only knock. They had a great draft. All right, guys, now we're going to hop into the number 5 pick. We're only doing the Eastern Conference, so we're going to be jumping around a little bit. Detroit, phenomenal draft. I can't say it enough. Then they get the number 5 pick in Jaden Ivey. Luckily enough, he didn't want to go to Sacramento. He wanted to be in Detroit because he has a lot of family ties out there, and it's just home for him. So he wanted to be in Detroit. Luckily for Detroit, because Sacramento would have for sure taken him at number 4 over Keegan Murray. We'll get into that in the Western Conference video. But for now, they get Jaden Ivey at number 5. Their big board had Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren on there, and guess what they got at number 13? Jalen Duren. I think they did a phenomenal way of maneuvering their picks in this draft. Some crazy trades. Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams Charania were kind of all over the place. It was really confusing. They were over here tweeting. I'll put up a tweet in the video. They're tweeting at the same time. It's just real confusing. But in all, Detroit, they get an A+ for me. They also drafted a guy from Italy. I don't know much about him. Leave a comment below if you do know more about him, and let me know if he's a good player or not. Don't know too much. But Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, wow, phenomenal. All right, guys, now we're going to be moving into Indiana. They had the number 6 pick, the Pacers. I'm going to give them a A-. I'm not going to give them an A+ or an A. And I'll tell you why. It was a very, very solid draft. Very, very solid draft. I think they're going to get some nice fundamental pieces out of all 3 guys that they just drafted today or yesterday. Putting Benedict Mathurin next to Tyrese Halliburton is going to be a very nice compliment to him. Very solid scorer. I think getting Kendall Brown at 48 will really boosted that up to an A-. I think if it was just Benedict Mathurin and a couple, solid pieces, I think it would have been probably around a B. But having Kendall Brown at 48 is just a great value pick, and getting Nembhard from Gonzaga, who's supposed to be a top 25 pick. I think they got 2 great value picks outside of the lottery. One in the second round, which was insane. He was supposed to be a lock for first round. I'm giving them an A-. All right, guys, let's talk about the Washington Wizards. I seen on the internet some people hating on this pick. Guys, Johnny Davis is a stud. He is a bona fide stud, an offensive machine. People are underrating this pick, and they're saying it wasn't the flashy pick and how he wasn't the high upside, and how it's safe. Guys, Johnny Davis was the safe pick, yes, but also a high upside just as much as guys like Usman. Nah, I'm not gonna say Usman Jang, but just as much as a lot of the guys in the draft. I think you can see this guy hop in right away and put up great production for the Washington Wizards next to Bradley Beal. Guys, I really like this pick. I'm gonna give them a B. I don't know much about their second round pick from the Congo. He's a center. Don't know too much about him, so I'm not gonna really touch on that. But for Johnny Davis, bona fide stud, I'm gonna give him a B, and I think he have room to grow on that. I think it could shoot up to an A+ if he taps into his full potential. All right, guys, let's hop into Cleveland. I want to talk about this one. Ochai Agbaji, they got him at the 14th overall pick. I think he's going to be a solid 3-and-D wing kind of guy. I think he has potential to be even better than that. Look, I'm giving them an A- because I like Ochai Agbaji. I don't know how much upside I see in Ochai Agbaji. I know a lot of people are very high on him. I just don't know. I don't know. Watching the tape, eye test wise, I don't know. I think he's gonna be solid, but I don't see room to be great. So I'm gonna give them an A-. I almost wanted to knock it up to an A because they drafted Isaiah Mobley in the second round, which is gonna be future-wise, it's gonna be very good. You know, just anytime you get a brother alongside his brother, it's gonna be good chemistry-wise, locker room-wise. It's just gonna be a good aspect of the squad. They also got a couple of overseas guys. I don't know too much about them, so I'm not gonna touch on them too much. But yeah, I think they had a solid draft. I'm gonna give them an A-. I like Ochai Agbaji, and I really like the Isaiah Mobley pickup. All right, guys, let's talk the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets, at the 15th pick, they had drafted Mark Williams, 7'2", solid rim protection. I'm gonna give them a B. I'm not gonna throw them in the A column. I'm gonna give them a B. I think they had a solid draft. They also got Josh Minott in the second round, which honestly is a very good value pick. I really like Josh Minott. I think he should have been earlier towards the late first round, early second. So I'm going to give them a B. I think it was a solid draft for them. Nothing too flashy, but very good draft in my opinion. All right, guys, the Atlanta Hawks, I think they had a solid draft. I think AJ Griffin, I think they're going to have him try and fill in those roles that they expected Cam Reddish to fill in. I think having him next to DeAndre Hunter is going to be very nice. It's two very good. I mean, DeAndre Hunter is phenomenal 3-and-D wing, and putting AJ Griffin next to him is going to be a pretty solid addition. I really like that. I'm going to give them a A-. I don't know much about their second round pick, but I think AJ Griffin at the 16th pick was a very, very great value picks. And I think this is a common theme of this draft, is that there's so many great, solid, great value picks in this draft that it's like, there's a lot of good grades to give out. I'm not going to lie. There's just so many good grades to give out because there's so many teams that got great value picks who these guys would have went earlier if it was another draft, but there's just so many, not stars, but just solid players in this draft. All right, guys, let's talk my hometown team. I've been excited and waiting to talk about this one. I'm not going to lie. You see the Zach LaVine and Michael Jordan in the back. We're going to be talking Chicago Bulls. At the number 18 pick, we selected Dalen Terry. I think a lot of people were very low on this pick. It was kind of a shock to a lot of people who didn't know who he was because he was more of a role player in college. And I think this is a common theme for the Chicago Bulls, taking guys like Patrick Williams, who was a role player. I mean, Ayo Dosunmu, he was the star of that team last year, so not very much of a role player on that one. But I think they look past what people did in college and really like to look at pure athleticism and what you can bring to the table on my team in the NBA. And I'm going to give them a B+ for it because I think they went best player available. And I think that's always what you need to do, especially when you're picking later in the first round when there's really you're kind of running low on talent. I think you got to go best player available. Whoever you think is the best player on your big board, you draft that guy. Especially this year because our needs are center and power forward. There are plenty of centers and power forwards in this free agency class who are going to be going for pretty cheap. I mean, Mo Bamba, we can go grab him. There's Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Smith, Thaddeus Young, Marvin Bagley. I can name a whole list. Yusuf Nurkic. I can name a whole list. guys you can go and snag for a pretty cheap contract to help Vucevic with that rim protection that Mark Eversley said that we're going to go and try and add. And I don't think you needed to sell and get an EJ Liddell who went 40, who a lot of Bulls fans wanted us to go, Walker Kessler. I think they went best player available, and I really like the addition. And I really like Dalen Terry as a player. I mean, 6'7", and who moves like a point guard, but the size of a small forward. Really like it. Philadelphia 76ers, they actually didn't make a selection in this draft, but what they did do is make a trade. They traded the number 23 pick in Danny Green for DeAnthony Melton. At first, I didn't know how to feel about that one because, I mean, DeAnthony Melton is a solid player, but is he worth Danny Green and your 23rd pick? And once I thought about it, I mean, for Philadelphia, what their needs are, I think that was a pretty solid pick, especially if they're going to be keeping James Harden around. I think they're going to need some solid wing and guard defenders, and DeAnthony Melton can certainly be a key addition to that for the foreseeable future. I mean, he's still pretty young, so I think this was a solid draft. We're going to be giving them a C+, nothing too crazy, nothing too flashy. They didn't make a pick, but I'm going to be giving them a C+ for trading that pick and getting a guy like DeAnthony Melton at number 23. Milwaukee, how do you guys keep doing this? I do not understand. I'm going to be giving you guys an A. I don't know much about their second round pick, but what I can say about their, I think it was 24th or 25th overall pick, Marion Beauchamp, guys, that's a steal. That is a steal. He should have been up there with, I mean, honestly, I see him as on the same caliber as Ochai Agbaji. I see him on the same caliber as guys like Tari Eason. I think Tari Eason's a little bit higher, but I mean, I think he's relatively close to those guys that are up there. And guys, it's going to be a solid addition to an already championship-ready team, and if they're going to be building for a future with Grayson Allen, Marion Beauchamp, I think you guys are going to be seeing a common theme in this NBA where championship teams are building for their future as well. I think it's becoming a more common thing, keeping those picks and drafting young talent who can be ready right now and still provide for you in the future. It's becoming more of a common theme than trading those picks and getting win-ready guys right now. I think people are more looking for win-ready guys who are coming straight out of the draft. Teams like the Warriors, teams like the Raptors, who did it when Kawhi left. I think teams are building these teams while they're winning, and I really like that for the NBA. Miami Heat. I'm telling you right now, I believe this is possibly the steal of the draft. Nikola Jovic, guys, people are treating this man like he's a center, power forward. Just because he's 6'10" does not mean, I think he's probably a power forward, but I think he has the potential to be a small forward at 6'10", 6'11", three-point lights out, playmaking ability on 10. The fact that he slid to the 27th pick, criminal. That is criminal. I mean, I just don't understand why he slid that far. I mean, maybe there's questions about the athleticism, but boy, that boy is pretty athletic. I don't understand why he slid all the way down there and to the Miami Heat, who needs some size at 6'10", but can move around like a guard. I think that is pretty damn solid. Great value pick here. I'm going to be giving them an A+. I know people are going to probably call me out for this, but I'm very high on Nikola Jovic. I think that guy is the truth, and hopefully I'm right on this so I can replay this clip. But guys, I think Nikola Jovic is probably the steal of this draft. Guys, I really appreciate you guys for tuning into this episode. If you made it this far, you guys are a champ. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoy our content, make sure to comment who you think is the steal of the draft. Let us know who do you think is the steal of the draft. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, as it does always only help the channel, and it gives you guys those notifications, so when we drop great content just like you like today, make sure you hit that like button, spam that like button. Guys, we had our first live stream the other day. It turned out great. We had over 100 viewers. We gained like 10 new subscribers off that. We're a new channel, so these little numbers count. We're hitting little goals, and we're carrying you guys along the way. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying what we're putting out. We appreciate all the guys who tuned in. We had guys there the entire night. We're just thugging it out with us watching this draft, and we really appreciate it, and we want you guys to know that we really do appreciate that. But without a doubt, this has been Nothing But Sports Talk, the channel where we do talk nothing but sports. Once again, I appreciate you guys. My name is Christian. I was your host today. I appreciate it. I'm out of here.